Hey guys, what up? It's NEACE here. Bang, bang, what's happening? Today, we're gonna do a video a little bit different from the complaining about Epic Games esports stuff. We're gonna be talking about how to farm win rates and how to win a lot and exactly what you need to do to win a lot. I know there's a lot of guys that want to get noticed by maybe they want to play with people that are better, and people look at their stats and they're like, man, your stats friggin' blow. Your KDA blows. No, I ain't playing with you, or you can't play on our team, or whatever. You know, this video is designed basically for you to understand exactly how getting good win rates and good KDAs really works in Fortnite, and how I went from being like, I went from like tryharding to try to get win rates like 20% win rate or whatever with average KDAs to now I win like 50 to 80%. If I make a new account, it's around 80% of the time I win. And honestly, it's the strategy itself isn't difficult, but getting the mechanics to the point of where you can execute it is difficult. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what you need to know. Now, the first thing you need to do, before we go into details about why I'm dropping so far away or any of that, you need to go watch some of my other videos. I would recommend, and it would help me out, but I've got a lot of videos talking about mechanics, the right settings, talking about sensitivities, talking about just basically anything you need to know about the baseline mechanics of Fortnite. And I mean, I really would recommend making sure that your video settings are right, your sensitivity's right, and then from that point on, after you've done all that, move on to dropping in more aggro areas. Work on dropping in more aggro areas and getting yourself up to getting anywhere between like, 10 to 15 kills a game at least before you really start looking at the whole win rate farming thing, okay? You need to be able to drop some kills. You need to be able to outplay multiple people. And that journey is it doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it's a necessary journey in that you need to know how to beat multiple people before you are ever going to get high win rates in this game. You need to know how to win fights when you finally take them. And that's what a lot of this video is going to be about, is about how we're going to be navigating Season 5 rifts to avoid fights and to position properly, to get the best possible positioning that we can make for ourselves. And from there on, talking about what the best strategy is for late game and just how to win more, man. And I know that a lot of people in the comments are going to be a little bored with this play style. They're going to say, oh, you're being a pussy, fighting multiple people. Look, dude, I've already had multiple high 20 kill plus games in solos and squads. Solo squads. It really doesn't mean anything. It's getting, high kill games, being able to do it, that's great and all. But you also need to understand simultaneously the only reason that you would ever get an insanely high kill game in a solos match in Fortnite is because the lobby's bad. Let's face it, the better that your opponents are, the less likely that it is that you're going to ever be able to get that kind of result. Because you're going to eventually just run into somebody who's just as good as you mechanically, and you're both just going to butt heads, and either you're going to kill each other, or someone's going to third party you and shoot you from the side while you're having a mile-high build fight. Like, I've been there, dude. I know the ins and outs of it, and I'm telling you, the natural progression of this game is understanding that mechanically it's getting kind of solved, and transitioning into a smarter play style that takes advantage of people's tendencies to be lazy and to take every fight they see, and to just not think about the game strategically. Because even if you're in a tournament for kills, if you're in a tournament for kills with a lobby of good players, guess what? You're not killing everybody you see. Every fight you take's got to be smart. And if you're in a tournament where placing's the most important thing, same thing. Like, every fight that you take has to be smart. So all this stuff about just running and gunning and shooting everybody you see is great for learning the mechanics. But long term, it's not sustainable for you as a player, and eventually you're going to run into somebody like me who's just kind of graduated beyond that and understands like, oh, if I can't win it when it matters, like if I can't win the game when I want to, if I don't know how the game works, then I'm just going to lose to somebody who's equally mechanically strong as me and just a little bit smarter. So that's what we're going to talk about. All right. So now that I've gotten that all out of the way, let's talk about, you know, the drops. You obviously want to land towards the back of the bus path, especially, you know, in like poker, it's just different tables. If you're in a tournament setting, you know, maybe you want to do something, maybe you want to land a little bit more aggro than usual, or in a spot that you think would normally be hot-ish, because maybe a lot more people are thinking outside of the box and they're thinking more about landing strategically. And if you're in public lobby like I am right now, that doesn't apply to us. We're just going to go ahead and land on the outskirts because no one's going to be here very often, and we're just going to farm up and get big. Now, the storm's coming. We got to move. We got to move, got to move, got to move. And what I'm going to do is I am going to move inside right now because I was distracting myself with the commentary. So I didn't actually check and see if the rifts were here. And the rifts are a very, very important component of Season 5 win rate farming, all right? So you got to go over her. Yeah, see that we got all these rifts right here, right? Beautiful, beautiful rifts. Now, we can use these for multiple things. First thing you can use them for is just scouting the area. When you have multiple rifts, if you want to be a big cockbag, you use them all before you rotate. You want to piss people off, that's how you do it. And anybody that wants to show up for your rifts late is not going to be able to use them. And that's, you know, it's a dick move, but it's probably the right move. I'm going to take this chest, farm the head. The head gives a lot of stones, so a lot of brick. You want to have more materials than I have, I'm going to be honest. Commentating sometimes distracts me a bit. That's why I'm not doing a great job of farming. Just taking all the rifts before I step off and leave. Alright, so I got one last rift. I'm going to head to the next rift spot. Next rift zone is right here at the burger. And if we have a rift, we're probably just going to sit on the burger for a minute. Farm some trees when we can. And if there is no rift that's visible to me, then that's going to change how I play the situation. So it doesn't look like a rift spawned here. I'm not entirely sure how these things spawn. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. You see a guy who's going to be chilling in the storm here. And we're not going to take that fight. We're just going to make sure that we get inside a loot lake. Being stuck on loot lake is lame as hell when you're trying to win games. I'm going to farm our trees. Farm our big trees. We're going to see what the next zone is. And I'm going to actually preemptively start moving to where I know a rift spawns. Let me make sure that I can actually... Oh, no, this isn't going to work. Never mind. I was thinking about going here. I'll mark it on the map so you can see. There's a rift that spawns around there, but that's not even in zone, so that's pointless. Instead, what I'm going to decide to do is start moving over here towards the head that has more rifts over there. And you see that my whole strategy hinges on moving to and controlling rifts, not really taking stupid fights that I don't have to. Now, if the zone comes and it's in my favor, then I might just build up on the hill and relax. But most of the time, I'm thinking about positioning and how to get to a point safely. Now, I'm going to move myself up a hill just so that I don't want to be in a valley. If anybody sees me in a valley, it's really bad news for us and our mats because we're going to have to use 1 million of them to survive. And as you can see, the zone is inside, but I'm still going to make my way over to the rift. The main reason is because it's just outskirts. I get free farm. It's kind of a safety net. Everyone's moving inside. I'm going to check the rift first because it's a safer rotation. I get air and I get to scout while I move. And I just don't want to be in a situation where I run through the middle of the map, draw unnecessary aggro, because then, you're going to have more fights, and guess what? That's going to be a direct reduction in your win rate. I don't give a damn who you are. The more fights you take, the lower your win rate gets when you're really trying to farm it out. You want the balance between fights that you can win and fights that make sense to you, and fights that you don't really want and you're not comfortable with. Don't take them. But again, this is why I stressed for that long rant at the beginning, like, you better be able to win mechanically. If people take you on, you got to be able to hold your ground. But anyways, one of the things that I notice when I play this style is sometimes I lose to people that mechanically I'm probably better than. because I'll get into this flow where I'm playing so slow, and then all of a sudden a fight breaks out and I'm just not mentally in it. This guy's been going, fighting everybody, you know, battling, and I'm just been kind of chilling, playing passive. So I think that's kind of the challenge of playing the style, is understanding that regardless if you're a mechanical player or not, if you run into somebody who's just trying to farm kills and you're in his way and you're just not up to snuff because for whatever reason, if you don't know how to shift gears, that's another reason that I play this way, is because I want to practice that pacing, playing slower and then, you know, switching gears when it counts. That's what I'm working on. And I also get really excited when I shut down people's high kill games. That's become my... Because I used to get mad at people with no kills killing me. So now I get to do it to them. And it's fun. It's fun stressing them out. And also, another note, because the meta is heavy on splodes, this playstyle is really nice too, because you'll learn that the more that you put yourself out there and the splodes meta, the more you'll get blown up. So, alright, I'm going to hit this rift now. I'm also going to move to another rift at the same time. And the next rift that I want to go to is right here. And if you notice, every time I get to a rift, I feel like that just shows you that people in this room weren't really thinking about it like I was. But it's a huge rotation tool, and it's going to be used a lot in pro play. Teams are going to control the rift, and I know where they all are already, and I know how to navigate them and how to use them effectively and all that stuff. So I'm going to move over here. Again, I'm checking to see if there's a rift. If there's a rift here, I don't have to move. I don't really have to move at all here. I can do something really cheesy if I want with this one, where I sit right on the inside here, and then if I want, I can just rotate over to it if I need to. In fact, I might go ahead and do that. I like that play a lot, so I'm going to just do this. You see this? You just set it up. And now you have total control. Once the zone closes in on you, you're safe. If someone pushes you, you rift away, or you rift aggressively at them if you think you can take them. You can do whatever you want here. And this is campy, but guess what? I'm trying to win. I'm trying to show you how to win. People might wonder about KDAs. I'm telling you right now, if you win back-to-back games, multiple games, 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 kills, sometimes you'll have games where it's just people rushing you for whatever reason. Your KDA is going to skyrocket. Like, people are going to think you're a friggin' machine. And you may not be, but I'm telling you right now, you got to be clutch. You got to know how to win to play this way. And I think that says something about your skill too, you know? As someone who's dropped multiple 20 kill games, at least over 20 of those things. Got to tell you, the more I've played the style, the more I have respect for it, because I just know what it's like to play passive and then have to like turn it on, and it just makes every kill more stressful. I don't know. It's like chill, but like kind of stressful when it materializes in. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead at like 10 seconds to zone moves and fly over. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna go ahead, because I don't think anybody in their right mind is gonna be chilling around me. I'm just gonna go farm some stuff that's nearby. I mean, it's just highly doubt it. I'm controlling the rift. No one in their right mind should be around here, and if they are, they're just being weird. My thought is that I could just take some free materials over here on the outskirts while I chill. I mean, it's not to say that no one can be here. I mean, you can walk into the zone pretty easily, but I find most people are collapsing on the zone right now. So again, I'll move at 10 seconds still. And I'm thinking about my positioning on the map. So I'm thinking about like... I'm thinking about going up to this hill. The problem with this meta and like trying to take over hills is that everyone's late game's got rockets, so you don't really want to show up there first. You want to kind of wait till somebody else fights and then move at it. It's scummy, but it is what it is in this meta. And then depending on what the zone does, I might just play over here. Actually, I think I know my spot. My spot's going to be right here next to the trees. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And as you can see, people are playing the hill, as predicted. I call it Peen Peak, because it looks like a penis. I'm going to fly just over here, and I'm going to set myself up. I might take this guy real quick, just because I don't like him. I don't like how he's looking over here. He's too close to me, and I don't like that. And like I said, you just got to be able to turn it on when you need to, you know? Just turn it on. When you show up, try to keep kills quick, succinct, smart. Once you get the kills, go right back to your position quickly, by the way, because you're in the top, you know, top 10. So people are going to be looking for you when they hear that. And then start thinking about how you're going to play late game. For me, I'm going to set up behind this tree. And I'm going to set up a brick house behind the tree. The reason I'm doing this is because it's really hard for the guy on the hill to shoot. Really hard for the guy on the hill to shoot me. He can't. It's like impossible. And I get a pretty good angle on everything else. This guy's setting up pretty hard on the hill. We're gonna see what the next zone is. So he gets the zone, which is not a problem necessarily. The main reason is because the way that the game works now, the closer the circle gets, you can just kind of turtle out and wait for the circle to move. So he can't stay there forever. And that's the beauty of this the change, is that you can actually navigate the storm and try to win every game. So bad things that can happen. I lost a game just recently this weekend where I ran myself out of mats late game, just not thinking about the push and how important it is. Another thing is, like, you know, late game, if you don't have a stacked loadout, you're gonna run into people that do, and you just got to make sure that you're thinking about, hey, if I clean up some kills, I got to make sure to loot, I got to make sure to check my weapons and everything. Okay, so someone gets sniped. So there's only 3 left. If he shoots, I move. If he doesn't shoot, I'll move once the zone moves. And I don't have any incentive to. I mean, I'm trying to win, like I said. That pushing up that hill is bad news, and it's not ideal. So what we're going to do is we're going to move along the tree line, and that's going to make us a lot harder to shoot. And we're also worried about the X Factor guy, the guy that's like creeping just like I am. He could be a potato, which is very likely in an open lobby, or he could be a god, and he could just be doing what I'm doing, just waiting for me to do something stupid, and he try to pick me off. So we just got to be smart about our movements. Make this guy stress out. I mean, he knows that we all know where he is, and just let him wonder about what the hell we're doing. Next move, I'm going to be moving right here. You can mark it on the map. That's what I like to do when I play try-hard games, is I like to mark things. And it gives me a good idea of where exactly I'm moving to, and it keeps me in line with where the zone is, what's safe, what's not safe. So he shoots. I assume that means that he sees somebody. He could be baiting. Okay, sounds like he's fighting up there. So I'm actually going to... This is standard, like, Fortnite 101. The guy's fighting your final opponents. You gotta move. You gotta go up. Okay, so he's just rocket spamming. We're gonna hold off for a second and see how this plays out. I'm gonna resident sleeper behind this tree. I'm gonna let this guy get spammed down. If he spazzes commits to the guy down low, then I'll do something. But for now, I'm just gonna let him get spammed. Okay, so he gets exploded. That means that I go up there. He ran himself out of explodes, or he's close to it. So it's now my job to go up there. He doesn't even know he killed the fucking guy. We'll just make sure we don't do anything dumb like that guy did. Well, we know he doesn't have infinite explodes. I'm gonna build up again here. Just try to ghost peek him out. No need to risk anything. Learn ghost peeking if you haven't. Got a tutorial on that. He's playing low ground like a G, dude. Like a champ. And just keep trying to knock him down. Oh my. You gonna push me? I'm gonna go for this. Mainly because I know I chunked him out. I'm gonna build up over him, control the fight calmly. Just make sure you don't throw, you know? And then secure the win. And that's the general strategy that I employ right now to get crazy win rates. If you want to check it out on stream, do a lot of chilling, obviously chatting about real life stuff too. Twitch.tv/NEACE. If you enjoy the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff that YouTubers need. You guys know me. I don't always, like, in order to get to this point, I practice doing high kill games and, like, crazy games and yada, yada, yada. And I'm learning now that to be a more competitive player, I'm going to start thinking more about the game. And I'm really confident in my mechanical ability, so I'm not too worried about showing off. I'm just worried about trying to be a really good player. So I hope this helps you guys that are aspiring to get a little bit better win rates and better KDAs. And if it did help you, please sub. And if it really helps you, go to twitch.tv/NEACE, drop the Twitch Prime sub or something like that. It does really help, and that's the main way that I keep doing this. So thank you. All right, love you guys, and I'm out. Bye, guys.